What's up, peeps? Happy Monday. 2 days after it all kicked off, thought I'd drop a little video. Lot of people online, a lot of people not happy, a few Bivol fanboys not happy. Was Bivol robbed? I don't think robbed. Close fight, good fight. Wasn't the barnstormer that we probably were all hoping for. I think you could argue for either guys. I think you could argue for a draw. I think majority of the people you ask who I would consider are just looking at it from a neutral perspective probably had Bivol maybe 7-5. But the problem is that even though I wouldn't have necessarily have been complaining if Bivol had won or it'd been a draw, did Bivol really do enough to convincingly win? And I know that's not necessarily right. We should just be judging it on punches landed and who won the most rounds. I get that, but you know the score, guys. Come on, like, boxing is just not done this way. None of these judges are ever on the same page. Each of these judges could be looking for something completely different. In an ideal world, we would just have 3 judges that each round are looking at only to score the most punches that are actually hit clean. And at the end of each round, they say, right, Bivol hit 60 clean shots, Beterbiev hit 48. We give the round to Bivol. But it's just not done that way. I don't know why, but it just isn't. I think really that they were probably looking for the more aggressive fighter, I should say. Bivol boxed his socks off, without a doubt. Bivol's undoing was that when he did let his hands go and started to be the aggressor, Beterbiev would come straight back with his own flurry. And I think Bivol felt the power, and I just don't think he wanted to engage too much. He just wanted to sit back, let Beterbiev come to him and just look for the counter. And that's probably worked in a lot of his other fights, but this is the undisputed light heavyweight championship of the world. Surely you've got to leave it all out there. The only thing that could be a saving grace for him is that there's a rematch, and it was close enough that it warrants one for sure. I think most people would want to see a rematch. Let's see if he gets one, but robbery's too much. If it was conclusive 8, 9, 10 rounds to Bivol, I'd be like, yeah, come on. But the judges are just looking for something completely different. They're not. When you watch it back and you judge the fight and you look at each round, and if you come to the analysis that Bivol won more rounds, it's great because we get to do it when it's not live, and we get to do it after the fight again. We get to do another sort of autopsy, so to speak. But at the time when it's live, this is what I've said about judging. I just think maybe they just shouldn't even be in the ring. Should they just be like sort of backstage in separate rooms where they haven't got all that atmosphere and like then people just behind them? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, because I just think you've got 3 judges there that are all probably scoring the fight completely differently, in the sense of they're looking at certain styles, they're looking at who's being aggressive, sometimes even who's being more active. They could just they could be scoring the rounds to the fighter that is throwing more, but not necessarily even landing, which to me, that would be the most crazy thing to score a fight on. If you're giving rounds to guys that are just throwing punches, but none of those punches are hitting cleanly, you know, they're just coming off the gloves or they're not doing any damage, then that's madness. But I don't know, guys. I think Bivol done enough to win the fight. I think most people wouldn't have complained at a draw, but they just need to run it back, because I think most people want to see a conclusive victory. I mean, you know, maybe the only way you're going to get that is to get a knockout. I'm surprised. I thought that Beterbiev really was there for the taking. Like I said in my video before the fight, I think that Beterbiev, he's almost 40 now. There's only so many times you can roll the dice and get lucky. You know, Bivol, I think, had the majority of the advantages going into this fight. But look, we'll just wait and see, guys. Look, what do you think in the comments? Leave it down below, and like if you appreciate the video. Cheers, guys.